I think I'm actually going to go ahead and get into this next question. So, depression is definitely a struggle that I hope, everyone gets through and overcomes most definitely. And some journeys are harder than others. Many people out there want to, definitely want to overcome these tough obstacles in life. And that keeps them from having, like living life, as an overcomer, these battles. So, do you both of you do you feel like mental health is a daily battle that continues to happen in your lives? And if so, do you think you have found ways to cope with these battles to where your life is not filled with constant worrying or constant sadness, or is it still a struggle that like you've been having a hard time getting through?
I guess for me, like mental health is like it's a 50-50 type thing. Like some days I could struggle with it like really, really bad. Some days, like I, said earlier, that some days could be like really good. But what I've been really struggling with lately, like in my mental health kind of journey, um, I guess like someone could say one like negative thought or one negative word, and like that mental negative like thinking that I would like try to be getting through it would like trigger, and I'd like be depressed the whole entire day. Um, but here lately, like I said, I go to therapy every 2 weeks now. And they really have taught me to find ways, like when I'm really in my down, like down type days, to find things to like kind of cooperate, with the mental health, like going outside, get fresh air, or like watching something on TV that you really really like. And what I've been really really doing lately to get me through my bad days is listening to music.
Yeah, music will definitely help, those moments for sure. It can make you put on some happy music. It can, kind of get you in a good mood and kind of take your mind off of, those hard times, definitely.
Yeah, yeah. For me, I think mental health, at least for me, don't want to speak about anybody else, but for me, it's a daily struggle, and I still struggle with addiction. It's almost every day I want to drink, I want to take pills, um, but with all the skills that I've been having after these last couple of years of therapy, is like what Tasha said. We can go outside. I love going outside. I love riding my bike, getting the fresh air in. I get some worship music going. I sing, even though maybe I shouldn't be singing on a bike, but I don't care. um, watching a movie that you watched as a kid for comfort, or just a movie that you just know back and forwards. Like I watch um The Wizard of Oz, and I watched The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe if I'm ever having a bad day, just so I could be in a better mood, or just something that's like it's familiar, it's very familiar, so you don't have to like think about it when you watch it. You don't have to like be scared about it when you watch it, because you know exactly what's gonna happen because you've seen these movies so many times. And that's one thing my therapist did say to me, was like, it's okay to rewatch movies you've seen many of times. It's okay to read books you read so many times, because it becomes familiar, so it becomes comforting. Um, that's what I do. And then, I'm always in my Bible, I'm praying, I go and play worship music. So there's just a lot of things you can do to keep yourself out of it. But also know that, don't like ignore it. If I feel bad, or if I feel sad, it's okay to have your emotions. Just don't let the emotions overwhelm you. Is what I've been trying to teach myself, is, like my grandpa, it's okay to be sad, because it's a very tough situation. So I can be sad. Um, and at the same time, don't let it like overwhelm you. Because at the end of the day, all this pain and suffering is gonna be over, and we're gonna be in heaven with
Mm-hmm.
everybody, and and Jesus and on the throne. No, God on the throne and Jesus on the right hand of him. Um, just know that it's temporary, but also know that it's okay to have these feelings and it's okay just find ways. I know it's better to find your own specific way because not everybody's is made the same. So if you like music, listen to music. If you love, I don't know, hiking, go on a hike. So just do whatever you want to do and not so much what they tell you. Um, yeah.
Yeah, that's actually you actually said something that was very powerful. It was almost basically saying that like it's okay to not be okay. Like it's okay to go through, a struggle because we know we're all going to go through a storm at some point in life. And like I said, it's going to, mess with us, whether it's emotionally, mentally, spiritually. Sometimes it can, mess with us in our walk of faith, and there are definitely many ways that you can overcome those times of, sadness, or those times of, grief, if, somebody has lost somebody, or even just there's so many ways to get through those kind of obstacles in life. And y'all both brought up some really good ones like music. So I love doing that same thing. If I ever have a time where I feel maybe not depressed, but maybe just like, I don't know, just sad from being like alone sometimes. Like maybe being alone meaning like not having a special someone that, like, that I want to have as a wife and to have children. I'll start trying to listen to music to get me, kind of up again, up and happy. And or even like Alex said, watching maybe a movie that you're kind of familiar with. And you can't go wrong with Dorothy, definitely. Dorothy, Judy Garland will definitely, even though she went through a tough journey, but she played a good role of just making people smile and holding that cute little dog and skipping down that yellow brick road. So, like I said, that's definitely good. Like watching a movie, or even for me, like a musical. I feel like I've told Alex this like a million times, but I love Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. I love like singing all of the songs to that. I probably know every word by now because it's like something that I've had for over a decade, probably 15 years. Like it's the Donny Osmond version. And it's like, come on, Donnie, like, sing that part again. Like, even though like he's probably somewhere in his house right now, just relaxing in some cabin. But here I am. I'm like, yes, Donnie. So I just love those like comforting musicals or comforting movies that you can watch, or even Alex said you can go hiking if you like to hike. Even for me, something that I've actually gotten into in the last couple of years is actually songwriting. I actually like my first song that I wrote. I actually shared it with Alex. It was called 2015. That's what I named it, and it's about a situation that I went through that year of like going through a lonely time. I was involved with this girl. I dated her at one point a few years back, and things ended there because I was cheated on. And then the second time I got back with this girl, same situation happened. So during that time, um, I had a small circle of friends, and we both were friends with the same circle, of same circle of people. And anyway, I ended up getting to where the second half of the year, after the second half of 2015, after we broke up, she basically turned everybody against me. And I was kind of like looked at as, because I was the one that broke it off. And I feel like I had valid reasons to break it off. But she kind of turned it on me, and I guess kind of made me look like I was the villain in the situation. So for a while, I feel like I didn't have that many people to count on besides family. So I'm glad to have, a big family, and, people I can rely on. But, at the point where I was done with her, it kind of like the rest of my friends kind of took her side. They didn't really want to hear my side just because it looks like, like look at Joel broke up with her a second time, because the first time we broke up, I broke up with her, of course. So, for the same reason, when it comes to cheating, um, that's just definitely something I don't want to deal with. So, during that time, I didn't get into songwriting, but in 2020, during this whole COVID situation, that where we've been quarantining in our house, I started like having these thoughts again about that situation. And maybe I haven't like fully put it to bed or like had closure with that because maybe I still was hoping that something would work out with that situation. Weirdly, I was still, hoping that this was actually going to be like my future wife. And I've had to finally put it to bed because it just was uh eating me up, like not in a good way. It was just really taking a toll on me. So like I wrote the song 2015 talking about my experience the first and second time of being involved with her, and kind of how those people kind of they left me alone. Basically, they kind of betrayed me in a way. And so yeah, so that was definitely a hard time to go through, but songwriting can even be therapeutic in my situation. So there's definitely many ways that you can overcome, or you can cope with a battle, your daily battles or daily struggles that you're going through. So I'm definitely glad for that. And the most important thing is praying and reading in the word and just putting on some worship music and praising God for who he is, because he can bring us through the good, bad, and ugly, the mountains and the valleys. We know that he's our deliverer and our counselor, the Prince of Peace. So just constantly reminding ourselves of that, and like looking to him as our refuge is definitely important. So I definitely want to point that out as the most important thing, is just constantly going back to God, because he is always going to be there for his children, those that call on the name of him. He will be there for us.
Yeah.
So, the next question that I actually have, is kind of in regards to challenges. So, when I think of challenges in of life that goes on in all of our lives, I think that the best way to overcome those obstacles is to address it as soon as you face that battle. Like maybe not bottling it in. So from your personal experiences, what were some early warning signs that you experienced to where you knew that your mental health was being affected?
Mm, well, I guess I can go first. Anyway, I guess the probably the really core experience that I dealt with was the death of my mom. Also like the death of my grandmother and mm, recent family members. Another really core problem that I knew my mental health would be affected was being homeless for about 3.5 months, and also having to like bounce from place to place just to have somewhere to sleep.
Mm, yeah, I remember you telling me about that experience, going, kind of not even having a place to call home. I know that would definitely have to be a hard situation to go through. And seeing you now in your own apartment, it's definitely, I'm glad for that. Like you're right now in your own apartment. Whoop, whoop. So definitely good for you. Like, so I'm definitely glad to see that, because I can see just like, not really having a place to call home, or even, with your situation of losing loved ones, it definitely can take a big effect. And it's definitely hard to fully, because you never can let that go. You can never let that relationship go. I know there's definitely a proper way to, of course, grieve, and unfortunately, you do have to move on in your life. But that's never going to leave your mind. You're always going to think about those people in your life that you miss, that you love. So it's definitely hard. But I'm definitely glad to see that you are getting into therapy, and so you're definitely going. You're, like I said, you're in your own apartment, you're doing big things. You're working at Walmart, and you were just you're doing amazing things. So it can only go up from here. I know you're definitely going to have you're going to have more battles. I'm sure we're all going to have more battles, but at least let's see, there are some things that you have gone through, like that you're currently going through, that I guess it could be worse, like as far as your homelessness situation. So there's definitely something positive out of that at least.
Yeah, that's true.
Mhm. Yeah.